It restarted stream. Basically, got to go through this whole map without being detected. At least I've got checkpoints to work with, so it's possible. Let's get the fun part out of the way. So basically we've got to go from A to Z without being detected. I can do this. Hold my beer. Otherwise known as Crouch Simulator. Alright, so got through one of the most important parts. Just got to get around the outside of this objective. Get to the gate, going through the gate grill on the right hand side. Go across the left hand side, go up the hill. And try and hit people with knives when they detect me. That's tricky, like ghosting keyboard, I guess. Like American sausage. Haven't tried to get through this part would be hard. Turn right, there's people just left, right. Please tell me that wasn't me. Imagine getting to the end after all this and thinking that you were detected. They're on alert. I mean, they didn't detect me, but... did they? Maybe they're just firing at shadows. I'm pretty sure I didn't get detected. I'm going to restart just to make sure that wasn't a fluke. So I'm pretty fucking sure I didn't get detected, but just in case. It's pretty easy to get there without. Imagine going through the whole thing and not unlocking. Remembering Moho fell in that spotlight. Oh my god. Old times. Oh, yeah.
Fangt am besten schon mal an zu laufen! Hier!
Right, that must be what it was.
Wie komme ich am schnellsten zum Bahnhof? Der junge Mann rief sich am Morgen an und beschwerte sich bei seiner Frau, dass es Fahrzeug beim Ansatz zum Fahrrad. Das war 400 und der fährt es weg. Jetzt verstehen wir auch, wenn wir mal vom Gleis sind.
Yeah, right. Get the hell out of the way of the road. Right. Oh, there, never know that. Here, drink. See how far we can get. We get to that conduit on that side. Oh yeah. Patience is a virtue. Just one dead German soldier with a knife in his head. Drink time. I think this is basically the hardest part. I know the next guy that I gotta kill, but between here and there, like, I don't know if I can actually make it there without taking another person. You can imagine what this must be like in real life, you know, like when you've got all those satellite assets, like thermal imaging and stuff like that. It's like if someone like a thermal cloak and someone's just like watching enemy forces with a satellite and guide one person through an entire battlefield and take out like fucking 50 people without being detected. It's amazing. You know, I'm pretty good at taking instructions. Yeah, yeah. I have one person driving the car. Just follow instructions. Their lives, like, if your life is in their hands. How close can I get before I have to throw? Yeah.
Klaus, wie lange brauchst du denn da unten noch? Ich glaube, ich habe da was gehört.
And then you get Trump fucking showing up and it's like, I want to Montenegro and fucking St. Petersburg. For God's sake. France, UK, Greece, Italy, Finland, Norway, Sweden. For fuck's sake. I'm sure you've got your own fucking satellites. You don't need to rely on the US for this. Question is, do I take the dangerous path? We could go left. Left is right, right is wrong. I'm gonna try that first. I haven't tried it. I know where the people are, but we haven't drawn the ire of anyone yet. I might be able to get through this way. I can hear them that way. But so it's like, do I go that way? Or do I go that way? Or again this way. Just feels rather than going all the way through that. I do feel like it would be better if I went up here though. Gotta have a look. I reckon there's like people just here. They'll spot me if I'm crawling through there.
Du hast alle Süßigkeiten genommen. Reicht dir auch für alle? Ist nicht viel, aber du kannst gern was abhaben.
Is that count as being detected? Yep, sorry. I don't want to go through like the hour or so it's going to take to make sure that's not. It's going to take me like another hour. Alright. Take me about another 2 minutes, 3 minutes to get back to where I was. Didn't kill him on the first shot, that's the reason. I should have used the knife, not the pistol. Before, when I came through here, there was a guy up there. There he is.
Wie lange brauchst du denn da unten noch?
Bis kein riesiges Loch mehr in der Mauer ist.
Du wirst es doch gehört haben.
Dra.
Es müssen Sardinen sein. Und das Kugelgas. Da musst du dich verhört haben. Es ist nichts mehr da.
Oh. Ja.
Aber als der Morgen anbrach, waren wir alle Freunde.
Ja?
I reckon I can get around, but
Natürlich dachte der Fahrer, ich würde lesen, was das Buch in der Hand hielt.
depends on his radius. I'm down.
Entweder ganz oder gar nicht sein. Er hat so viele Gefühle für einen Hauptmann, wenn er nicht fragt. Ich allein den Buch der Natur. Er gibt sich selbst die Schuld, aber natürlich die Mond und alles um meine Knie hängt. Was zum Größten soll in den Panzer kommen? Weder Kaffee noch Zucker. Runtergelassen Rot, Leute. Ja, genau. Sonst meine Bonbon und mal Zigaretten haben. Auch was Zeit. Und zwar jetzt, verdammt.
Ich träume von der Zeit, als wir Schokoladen-Nusstorten bekommen haben.
Eine halbe Ration Erbsenwurst. Ja,
Der Hauptmann ist ganz schön wütend auf ihn.
er nimmt sich die ganze Krieg sehr persönlich.
Hi.
Könnte für die Chaos nicht verantwortlich sein. Am Mann ist es persönlich. Er hat so viele Gefühle, als der Morgen anbrach, waren wir alle Freunde. Denken zu nah. Entweder ganz oder gar nicht, sagt er. Er gibt sich selbst die Schuld für das, was passiert ist.
Let's see what happens.
Wie doch? Ist ja voller Schlamm. Wenn du da abbrichst, passiert gar nichts. In dem Zustand wärst du dir noch geeignet.
Yep. So basically, gotta go down only way. Can't believe I didn't spot it when I was crawling. I would have gone that way. It's just it didn't look like I could.
Der Mann steht vor dem Grab seiner verstorbenen
Alright. At least I know exactly what to do.
Brauchst du denn da unten noch? Weißt du was? Der Kopf braucht Hilfe! Freiwillige!
Jeg trengte den her.
That's the path. I tried going around up top. Oh my god, so stupid. Like, I actually remembered as well, because, like, I knew that I crossed the bridge and keep right. But I thought, like, for some reason at that point, I couldn't drop down. I was like, Actually gonna go back up and like see where the fuck that entered my head. Honestly, I don't know. That was a miscalculation on my part. It was a total fail. It was when I saw this wall. I looked at this wall and I was like, there's no possible way that looks like it ends. That's exactly my thought process. So, I've got to get through there without that spotlight lighting me up there. Let's figure out their pattern. It's not like Moha where it actually had a pattern. It's like, you know, just scans across every now and then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 7 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11. Alright. Getting there. So, the next part I remember is we've got to get right up the right side and then we've got to cross the entire battlefield to go to the left. So there's no way you can get in from the right. It'll just continue following the right wall. Yep. And once we get past this, this is like the last spot where we can have any solace. You know, like I feel that, like when they designed this map, you know, like when you came up to this building, it's like so people can go in, just like go inside and like feel warm for a moment, you know? And take a break. I could live in a building this big. I'm not even kidding. I could live in this room. Maybe put an internet through the corner, put a computer there, put a stove, burning your back. Maybe move the bed. I don't know, like put it up there, maybe with a ladder to it and put the computer there. I could live in a room like this. I think they designed it for like people who like doing the achievements, like just like have a like a little bit of a wait period, because no one can discover you inside here.
Jeg må flytte på meg.
And those old stoves, you know, like actual like wood-fired ones, like you're just feeding coals in here. You got a cooking stove, you got like heating, warms the whole area. Right, so from here, basically, this is the long haul. So, I'm gonna pop my head up here just to see what there is. But you can't go this way. I mean, you could, I suppose. Like if you're like super, like uber ninja. But the real way to do it is to go left. Get it all the way around left now. So nearly got detected by that guy down there. Just gotta go up. Hearing them walking down there. There's one guy up here. Right. We're in. We're in like Flynn. Switch out my rifle to suppressed. So I'm going to use that in the next mission, I guess. Without even firing a shot. Might as well grab the pants first. Never know when it's going to come in handy. Guy just up here. Take him out with a knife. He's a medic, he's not a scout, so should be able to get pretty close. As long as he's not looking this way. Don't turn around. It's just the wind. It's close enough. we're just gonna keep going far left. Ignore them. Oh. Oh, got that car. What's up? I don't know if I can get a knife through that mesh. Gotta get close left. Knife back. Keep going around and around. I want to get up and up.
Bisher noch nicht! Nichts. Überhaupt nichts. Pfarrer, das war eine ausgezeichnete Predigt, aber sie war nicht von ihm. Der Pfarrer fragt, was er damit macht. Und man sagt, er habe ein Buch zu Hause, in dem jedes einzelne Wort finde, das der Pfarrer benutzt habe. Und niemand will wissen, wie das Buch heißt. Und der Mann sagt, Wörterbuch.
Skip the blades. For the moment. I used to practice throwing knives when I was younger. I'll be right back. I'll tell you how I used to actually practice throwing knives. Time to grab a drink. So, my obsession with throwing knives started with, of all things, like innocent things. So basically, when I was a teenager, like not even a teenager, I think I was like, no, I was I? No, I think I was like 12. I started when I was like 12. Basically, I was living in a very bad situation. I was in and out of foster care, and I basically just mentally, I wasn't really all there. So I had to come up with things to entertain myself, and I did that by like making my own bows and like all sorts of crazy stuff. But like one of the first things was I was working for like a corner store, I'm talking like a like a store that's like a not even an IGA. Like we're talking like back in the day before like corner stores were forced out of existence. You know, like you'd go into a corner store and they weren't all owned by Asians or whatever. This particular corner store was owned by like a very much a white dude. And I walked inside and I'm basically in foster care and stuff, and I'm just like, hey man, I've got nothing to do, I'm bored. Can you give me a job? And I was like 12. And child slavery child slavery laws and all that sort of stuff. Like I completely ignored it. I just basically was like, yeah, I'm just bored. Give me something to do. Basically, the store had all these like little labels on things printed up, and like a little label gun with the price and stuff that you could put on it. And like the price was updated for different objects, and everything had to have a label on it, like just like a typical Asian store, like a typical like sort of like run of the mill like sort of like ethnic store that you could find in a place. And like that's the thing, like back then it wasn't like that, you know. It was just like basically you put the price on the gun, you put it on the object. When they bring it up to the counter, that's what they paid. And I was just like, yeah, I'm bored. Give me something to do. It's okay, yeah. Now, if you don't know what the price is, just ask what it is, print it out, put it on the thing. And, you know, I basically lived in that store for a couple of years. Because, you know, it gave me something to do. Got me out of trouble. Like, say, like a can of rice cream or something. You know, it was like $1.35 or something back then. To give you a bit an idea how back far we're going. But anyway, the other fun thing was that when they went there, like there was always someone at the counter, like serving the counter. But you know, I was just like the kid walking around the store. It's like, oh, look at this, like looking at all the different products and making sure everything was labeled right, which is basically what I did. So their counter staff didn't have to go off and like reorganize prices because it's like, oh, what's the price of this? Okay, it's going to be that. Okay, stick on all the labels. But you know, cold room like had like milk and like soft drink and all that sort of stuff, and you know, like because it was a cold room, like lots of stuff being unpacked and like lots of things being unpacked out of boxes. So we had a lot of boxes, and inside the cold room, you probably already see where this is going because, like, you know me, I like the cold. Like, I want to be chilled all the time, even then as a kid. Yeah, like, I had a little box knife that I could, like, open up, like, boxes with. It was like a carretting knife. Like, it wasn't like a balanced throwing knife or something. It was like a little carrette knife. And, it was like the blade was probably only like an inch long and the haft was probably only like 3 inches or something like that. But I got really good with the empty boxes. I'd take the empty boxes into the back of the fridge in the back of the cold room, like behind where the fridge cabinet is. And I'd be able to stack boxes and I would throw knives at the boxes in the back of the room. I got really bloody good at it. So basically, I could throw a knife today and hit it basically within about, I don't know, like 2 inches of where I'm aiming, within 10 meters. And depending on the type of knife, like the thing is like this type of knife was like unbalanced. So when you're throwing it, it would spin. And like you try to predict how many spins there'd be before it touched something. And like that's one of the things with like throwing knives is like there's two different types of throwing knives. There's spin knives and there's balanced knives. This is completely unbalanced. So I used to basically take this thing predict how many spins there would be in like a 4 meter, 5 meter, 6 meter distance if the blade would contact and if it's stick in a box. And like only like an inch and a half blade, but I could get that thing to fucking stick in at like 6 meters, 8 meters. Like that's pretty long distance for an unbalanced blade. So like I understand exactly where this actual game is coming from that. But one of the things that it taught me was that you don't need to use like a throwing knife. You could use like a screwdriver, or you could use like a hairpin or a sewing needle or something like that. Like different balances and different weights holding it at the right different position. I got really, really good at it. And to this day, I'm still incredibly accurate with throwing knives. God forbid I ever use an actual proper throwing knife, but that's the thing, I've never needed to use one. Probably my favorite is like a screwdriver. So like a long, like sort of like 1/4 or like 5/8. No, sorry, like was it 3/8? I don't know the American sizes, but basically I can throw a screwdriver at 10 to 4 meters and hit a target with it and get like 4 or 5 inches of penetration. It's kind of crazy. Like it's actually a skill. And one of the things I actually used to practice, like over and over again, and I'm talking from when I was like 12 to when I was younger, it's like taking a blade and like flourishing it and like actually like spinning it around and like catching it again. So that graduated into me being able to take like steak knives and actual sharp knives. And I just missed one just then. I've been doing this for like the past, like the whole time I've been talking to you, I've been doing this. I've been able to take knives and like basically throw them up in the air, like juggling, and catch them by either the blade or the handle, but like on the right angle so I don't actually cut myself. And if I was to actually count the numbers of times I've actually cut myself, I probably only cut myself maybe like 4 times. I can cut, like I can actually throw a kitchen knife and I can still avoid cutting myself. Like I just like threw, like just experimenting with like a screwdriver just then. And like I caught it against my body, I pulled it against my body so that I didn't have it like hit my actual palm. Same thing with a knife. You know, like if you fuck up a flip, then you're gonna cut your hand. So it's like you want to stop the movement. So anyway, I've got really, really good at throwing knives. So I'm looking at the wall at me like 7 meters away. And if I wanted to, I could put the screwdriver that I've got in my hand probably about maybe 2 centimeters into the wall just because I'm used to it. And yeah, so ever since then I got kind of used to like throwing knives. It's like it's one of those weird things that like you just get like super attuned to. It's like not something, it's a skill. Like it's actually a skill. And like from that I learned how to fight with knives. So like holding it the right way. Like depending on your fighting stance, there's different types of fighting stances, you know, like you've got like if you just want to stab someone, you know, you can just hold a knife and just go poke, 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 poke. And like you hold it with underhand into the knife blade. Or if you're actually a knife fighter, you know, you got the knife, you hold it with the handle of the knife and the base of it in on your forefinger, the blade facing outwards and the angle of the blade facing back towards your wrist, so that when you're actually fighting with it, you don't cut yourself. Like, that's the whole thing. And like, so I transferred those skills from being able to basically just like, open boxes when I was like 12 to being able to like fight with a knife. And trust me, you don't want to fight with a knife. But like, that's just one of those things that's just like one of those things that makes me the person that I am. Like, I'm just capable of that. Like, I can sit here flipping a screwdriver and it's cathartic. It's like a stress test. Like, how like ordinary people have like, like little fucking, what do you call them? Like fidget spinners or whatever. I can sit with a knife and use it as a fidget spinner without cutting myself. And I can do it all day. Yeah, so, and like that's one of the actual like kind of one of the cute things, I suppose, is like being able to throw knives and stuff like that, and like learning how to do it like by just like throwing knives at boxes when you're like 12, and like you're getting paid like $2 for an entire day, just like basically to sit in a store and like chuck little price labels on things. Because like that's how you keep yourself out of trouble. But at the same time, like I learned how to keep myself out of trouble. Like after that, basically, God, it was probably when you're younger, like time has a different meaning. I was probably like doing that for like a year. And there was this guy who was like maybe, I don't know, like 25 or something like that, working as like the cashier. And like when he started working there, he's like watching me like doing this shit and like throwing knives and like all that sort of stuff, like in the back of the cold room. It's like, what the fuck? Like, here, have a shot. Like, we're basically like swapping different types of knives. I taught the guy how to throw knives. It's funny. He was like 25 and I'm like, like 12. But I can still do it today. It's a little bit trickier with kitchen knives. Kitchen knives have like a different weight and like the risk increases. So it's like you get used to like when you're tossing knives and like juggling and that sort of thing. Like when you're going with different types of different weights of knives, it's like that the risk increases. So like you're always conscious of where the edge actually is and where the point is. So like you throw a knife straight up, spin it as fast as you can, but when you catch it in a certain way that that the actual direction the blade is spinning and the point is directed is opposite to where you're actually catching it. Because I can actually, probably the biggest knife that I can actually throw is probably about, I don't know, a kitchen knife. So 12 inches, maybe, with like a 4 or 5 inch handle. And you get people like doing martial arts and stuff, and they're just fucking around with different like throwing knives that are like perfectly balanced. And the way that they throw them is that basically you balance the knife on like two different fingers. And when you throw it, you don't like so much as throw it as like toss it. And, like you keep the back of like your middle finger or like your second finger or your third finger like balanced on the blade so that when you toss it, it flies level. And whereas the knives that I'm used to throwing basically spin. Yeah. Like, and Yeah, that doesn't even bring into account like things like screwdrivers, where basically like, but I can take the tip of a screwdriver, spin it around, throw it up, catch it by the point, and then throw it, and it spins around like 3 revolutions before it hits what I'm actually aiming at, and put the point in first. I bet I used to practice that shit over and over again, like like it used to scare, like it didn't scare, like, and it wasn't even the point. It was just like basically the sort of like how I grew up, like the people I grew up around, and like the people that were in relationships with me and people who are around. It was like, basically I could grab a screwdriver and like flip it up, grab it by the point, throw it at the wall, and stick in the wall, sort of thing. Like 90% of the time. Sometimes it bounce off and I'd be like, what's this? Yeah, I had a pretty rough upbringing. I'll just say that straight up. But I'm an honest person. I work hard, work 8 hours a day. I pay my taxes. I don't commit crimes. Just I have some weird skills. Basically, when I was younger, it'd be like, because you didn't have any investment in like the house you were living in or your rental, they'd be like, oh yeah, I know how to fix it with gyprock. Yeah, basically you'd just be like, huh, well, I've got a knife. I can throw it at the wall and it will stick. And then before a house inspection or something like that, I'll just cover it up with some gyprock. You know, like it's crazy shit. Like that's how I used to think when I was younger. Like it's only when you get older, it's just like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't throw knives and actually stick them into the walls of the house that I'm actually renting, or like the house that I'm staying in. Like when I was younger, that was like an issue. Anyway, so where are we? Impulse control. But it's like not an ADD thing, it's more like basically, you got fuck all else to do. But yeah, like I grew up in the most violent of environments. And the people I used to hang around with, like, were so fucked. And not only that, but like, I mean, I literally can't say too much more because it's like incriminating. But I spent a very, very long time getting away from shit like that. Took a very, very long time. Still get the itch occasionally. That's one reason why I kind of drink so much, because like post-traumatic stress disorder is killer. Basically, like depressants kind of like numb the sort of like remembering all that sort of stuff. It's like you end up going into like mental loopholes where like you remember things and you go around and around and again, and you like go into cycling thoughts. Like, you know, like I went through a constructive thing just then where basically I was just like you wouldn't be able to see it because like I don't have a webcam active, but before I was like tossing a knife in my hand. I was like literally talking the whole fucking time. And, you know, like you kind of get used to that and then like you realize that, you know, you just gotta like stop. It's one of the worst things, like mental illness wise. So basically, what I do is like when I'm streaming and stuff, like when I'm playing games and all that sort of thing. You know, like I used to play games to get away from that. So when I was in that environment, I kind of just got the fuck away. Like I closed the door, locked it, bolted it. And, you know, I'd be playing like enemy territory or like, you know, Quake Wars or something like that, just to get the fuck out of that environment. And like that's where, you know, like even before that, like that's kind of like the duality of kind of like what I was like, because like at the same time I was doing like single unit like university electives like computer science and also like programming and all that sort of shit. Like I was making mods for Morrowind that had like 500 different mods combined into one, and then like actually like going through like the entire dialogue tree in the editor and like just going delete and recreating the whole fucking thing. Stuff like Battlefield, I was like taking existing mods and like, okay, I like that feature, I'll put that in my own mod. You know, I was making it. No, I was doing all that sort of stuff before internet was a thing. So it was like kind of crazy. Yeah. So like I know how games are designed, and like there's games that I like, there's games that I don't. There's people that I like, people that I don't. Yeah. And even though now I'm getting very close to 40, I feel exactly the same as I was when I was like 20. Yeah, it's crazy because like still do the same shit. You know, I just like why not? Like why not do the same shit until my body fails? Yeah. Eventually, I'll be too old. And now I'm making more than I ever thought that I would ever be making by doing something I never thought I'd ever be doing. You know, I thought I'd be making this sort of money just doing what I fucking trained to do, rather than doing what I just, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, throw the money at me. I'll do that. And driving a 3-ton machine around all day. And fuck. I think I've done right by myself. I mean, considering how fucked in the head I am, I think I've done good. Just gotta kind of like convert it into a long-term win, I suppose. People complaining about getting injuries. Oh, your shoulder's fucked. Oh, your back is injured. It's like, yeah, been there, done that. Do everything opposite for a while. Like if you got a sore shoulder, you know, and you're picking up things and you try and put it up higher above your shoulder level. It's like, well, why don't you just like, is it a long item? Like, why don't you just like tilt it down, like on a 45-degree angle, put your foot under it, drop yourself down using your calves rather than bending down, like just squat. Get your left hand, chuck it underneath it, pick it up a little bit while it's on a fulcrum, chuck your knee underneath it, put your right hand underneath it, and then stand up. Like, do you really need to fuck your body to do the shit that I do? I mean, I pick up 60 degrees, like 60 kilograms all fucking day. Like, I do it all day. And people get injured all the time by doing it. Like, you know, you got a sore shoulder from picking up something. You're doing it wrong. I mean, fuck. Like, your injury is not service related. Yeah, it's not. It's because you're being stupid. I mean, like, people who get shoulder injuries, it's usually because they don't work on their core first. And I'm not even big. Like, I'm just under 6 foot. Like, what is that? Like 5'11" or something. Anyway, the only thing I really care about, if I'm going to keep on rambling for a little bit longer, is like people who get fucking COVID or people who get fucking the flu, then turn up. Don't. Go home. You got sick leave. You got sick pay. If you don't, then get a different job. If you're working as a casual and you go, don't get sick leave. I mean, that's the whole point. If you're a casual, you're not turning up because you are a full-time employee. You're turning up because the company thinks you're expendable and you're only in use when people who are full-time employees are there to do the work when they're not sick. But I can't stand full-time employees who turn up when they're sick. I mean, use the sick days. That's what they're for. You know? And if you're a casual and you're sick, just don't fucking turn up. Go work somewhere else. Please. I mean, I get like 20 days a year. So. But I mean, I went through the whole casual situation where basically I was a casual and it's like, you know, I've been working for the same company for 2 years and I'm a casual. And I still get sent home when there's not enough work. Or if I'm sick, I don't get paid. I don't get public holidays. I don't get annual leave. Bank days, I suppose, is what Americans call it. You know, just get past that shit. I mean, 70k a year when you get bank days, when you get sick days, is the only difference is these days. It's like, what's the price of eggs like? It's like, I wouldn't like to be in America at the moment. That's because you got fucking psychopath, fucking fascist as your commander in chief. Probably not your fault too, but that's because even though the majority of Americans can vote for someone else, the minority can vote someone else in. Think about that for a moment. And that's my rant for the day. I haven't had a rant for the day in about, God, what is it? 6 months? I'm entitled to that. But yeah, I'd also like to bring up like the situation with Ukraine. Yeah, like the whole Ukraine and Trump situation. Well, Trump, basically, the first thing you need to recognize is whenever Trump says anything, just like fucking drone out, because he's a fucking scumbag. You know, anything he says, like your entire court system should just shut him down immediately. And it should not be like, oh, I got a mandate to what I do. It's like, yeah, you mean all the Americans who were forced to be unable to vote because of voting stations not being in the right place, or like conditions to vote. It's like, before I get too far into that, I'm just like, okay, so the US Marine Corps, United States Army, and the Air Force, when they join service, do they make a vow or something like that to uphold the Constitution of the United States? You do realize that the whole reason for like democracy existing is like something like the Magna Carta, whereas like someone can't be a king without doing the right thing. They can't have like complete control. And trying to change democracy to the point where an oligarch has complete control over the actual elements of democracy in your country. Make them like a king. And you just go, yeah, no, like Congress or like the Senate or whatever should be able to say, sorry, fuck you, because you're a cunt. Give me a hell yeah. I've been telling you this shit. I didn't get my fucking position by being a cunt. I'm telling you right now. I got my position by getting my arm fucking chewed off. But anyway, back in a minute. Basically, it all comes down to with great power comes great responsibility. What are the things that the monarchs of Earth should be focusing on right now? The first thing should be basically expanding beyond Earth. You can't expand beyond Earth without controls. There goes the whole Elon Musk idea. It's actually a really good thing. To be honest, it's not something I'm against. I think the rapid iterative development process is actually the way to go. But I do not think that the rapid iterative process applies to controlling people's lives. Doge. So you have a president who created a meme coin, pumped it up, people invested in it, they sold the fuck out of it, made millions out of it, billions, and then suddenly it was just like a marketing play. Should your president be a marketing play? This is the difference between kings and real kings. Real kings have the people as the actual beneficiaries, not themselves. And I really hate to say it, but like I'm sitting here stupefied. I'm like, stupefied. I'm like looking at it. I'm like looking and watching. Like, this is a dream, isn't it? Like, what? Then I go to sleep and my dreams are more rational. My actual dreams are more rational. And I'm insane, you know. I'm actually completely fucking bonkers. My dreams are more rational than what's happening right now. I mean, one, like, if I was to give you 3 points that I would say that would require maintaining the rationality of the human race based on impact, politics, and religious tolerance, I would say that the conflict in Ukraine is something that no one, except for the Russians, can ignore. First thing that Trump wants to ignore is the conflict in Ukraine. Rational. And sharks. Eggs. Sharks' eggs. Shark eggs? Yeah, I'll be Trump. I'll just like throw out random things. The price of shark eggs is way too damn high. Importing shark essence to make eggs is causing us to experience a financial depression. That's Trump. But you fucking voted for it. It's so fucking classic. I love it. It's like, great. Yes. Like, anyone can turn around and be a Trump. But the problem is the Trump that you put in is a fucking billionaire. And they're only fucking doing it for themselves. Like, they can say as much as they want that they're doing it for other people. And people, the Republican Party will make it seem like he's doing it. But at the end of the day, like, the system has failed. The Magna Carta needs to take precedence now. And, like, I'm very hesitant to say things that actually like this, but what I'm saying is that I think that you might have triggered the trap card. Because there are trap cards in society. And, like, all I wanted when I was my age was not to go through something like this. But, like, now that it is happening, I'm just, like, sitting back and I'm like, oh my god, you're an idiot. Like, just, like, process that through your brain for, like, 1 second. You're like, you're not thinking. You're just stupid. You fucking don't realize what's going on. And I'll preach it to the fucking skies. Because you don't realize what's going on. You're so fucking dumb. Your entire fucking civilization is actually collapsing. It's falling down. Falling down. I'm pretty sure there's actually a movie about that, by the way. And I'll sit here fucking telling you how it is. And it's not because I'm joyful or gleeful about it. It's because I'm sitting here stunned that it got to this point where this needed to happen. It does my head in. It does everyone else's head in. Every intelligent person in every country apart from the United States is sitting there looking at this shit going, why? What's next? Like, that's what's going on. There's no rational basis. There's none. There's only one solution. The United States, unfortunately, needs to become isolationists. While the rest of the world picks up the heavy fucking lifting, because you guys can't fucking pick up shit. Can't lift, bro. You're too unstable to be trusted with a lift. Doesn't matter if you have the most advanced shit, and if you have the world's highest economy, if you have a fascist dictator as a leader, you are Germany back in 1938. You might have the world's biggest, best technology base and the most like trade connections, and you're building the best shit. But at the end of the day, your government is fucked. This is the long knives, brother. The long knives. This is the moment where you need to wake up to what is happening before people get put in internment camps and slaughtered by gas chambers all over again. You have Hitler in control of the United States. You have Mussolini in charge of your financial system. I told you it was going to happen. There's only like another year left. For the real reaction. Because it's delayed. And people like to wait to see if you're actually stupid enough to do it. The most ironic thing, this is basically Hitler's greatest revenge. He gave you the playbook and you're fucking using it. I bet you when he was sitting in that bunker, he's like, someone's gonna come after me and do what I was trying to do. I'd like to remind you that at the start of World War II, Hitler and Stalin divided Poland Do you see the parallels? You don't, you're a fucking idiot. You're not worth me talking to you. I'm trying to tell you to stop. Because I'm giving you a fucking advance warning. If you don't, ni hao,谢谢. Ça, c'est là. You can run away from it as much as you want by focusing on your own internal problems. The reason your economy is fucked is because you're not putting any money into actually looking after the people in your own economy who are making money. And you know how you're not doing that? Health insurance. I've watched the Americanization of the Australian health insurance for the past 20 years. I've watched the Americanization of Australian Social Security for the past 20 years. Work for the dole. Medicare. Were these American things first or were they Australian? It's hard to actually distinguish them. You know, when a person whose teeth are falling apart can't go and get their teeth fixed and they can't eat food because their teeth have cavities. Is that Americanization? Medicare? Dental Medicare? Oh, yeah, that's right. In America, when you work for a company, they give you adult dental health insurance. But in Australia, they don't. Wow. Wonder why. And the cost of insulin in Australia is like $24 for like 6 months of the dose or something. In America, it's like 20 grand. Wow. Why? Are you guys listening? You actually understand what I'm saying? The most interesting thing is, it's like the way Australia banned smoking. You know how much it costs to buy a pack of what they want to do? Standardize all cigarettes to a pack of 20s or a 30-gram pack of roll your own tobacco. In any state. I'm calling on every single person who subscribes to my channel right now. I want you to debate this. I vape. I have a medical prescription for nicotine because I was forced to do that. The only reason why I drink alcohol is because I can't find medication for my PTSD. I don't get subsidized for it. Australia is shit in that regard. Even though I have a genius level intelligence, IQ, even when I went to uni, actually, I nearly ended up working for Burley, of all things. Like Burley, you know, like a bra manufacturer, like underwear manufacturer in Australia. It's actually kind of funny. Even though I nearly ended up working for as a manufacturer for women's goods, I still ended up cracking through. In other words, basically, I fell through the cracks. I can program in like, what, 4 different languages? C, C++, Python. You know what's wrong with Australia? Howard. Everything Howard put through. See, when I was actually going through high school and school, I was going through the foster care system. Basically, every year I noticed, and it's actually really fucking funny. Like, I actually noticed it, and like, I've made it part of my life because I really realized that that's basically what's going on. And this is really fundamental to what the problem is. Like, you have to listen to me now. This is the problem. When I was in year 7, we didn't have lockers. So we carried all our school books on our backs. On our backs. In our bags. And then when we were getting into year 8, our government school was like, you know, we're continuing on. We're in year 8, and we didn't get lockers because lockers were reserved for students who were in year 7 before us, who had moved up to year 8. And then when we were in year 9, they said everyone can have lockers. And we didn't get lockers. So, like, we were in year 7, we didn't have lockers. But in year 8, we're like, yeah, we get lockers. But then everyone got lockers. And then when we're in year 8, you see where I'm going? It's like every year, every time, the class who moved in front of us got a better advantage than the class that we were. So, what I used to do, like back at the time, because I was kind of pissed off, I just used to walk in and go, oh yeah, fuck off. Yeah, great. Yeah, we don't get a locker. I suppose I don't get any soft drink then. So I broke into the fucking teachers' classrooms and I actually took their fucking drinks. So when I got into year 9, we're supposed to have lockers. I know, but they're for year 8. And then when I got into year 9 really, moved on to year 10. Oh no, year 7, they all get a locker now. Do you understand how pissed off I was? Do you have any idea how angry I was? So I'm dealing with drug addict parents on one side, going through foster care on the other, and I go to school with 30 kilograms of books in my fucking bag, and I can't put them in a fucking locker? So you suspend me because I'm acting up. Then I go into like year 11 classes, year 12 classes. Do you put me in as punishment? Where we're doing like land trigonometry and stuff? And I'm doing better than they are? And I teach the class how to do it? And then when I get into like year 10, we have this special program that rolls around that says, oh yeah, this is like a university program, blah, 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 blah. We want all these people. And I put my hand up and you tell me, I don't recommend that you do this. because blah, 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 blah. We don't think you can do it. When I'm in like year 10, year 11, and I'm a fucking programming savant. And I do it, I turn around and I tell you, oh yeah, actually, no, fuck you. I don't care who my family are. I can focus on this. Then I do single unit electives at Monash University in programming and computer science while I'm still in high school. When I was told by your principal, your vice principal, that I shouldn't do it. The society's fucked. Hate all of you. Want radicalization in a nutshell? There you have it. Even with my drug addict family, I got through the first 2 years of fucking university. And when I requested special help to do it, did I get it? This entire fucking country. Yeah, you owe me something. Because when I went homeless and kept on trying, and I attended classes for 6 months. So you listen to me now. That's all I ask. I was fucked in the head. Took a long time to get that out. And I'm good now. And for fuck's sake, you should listen. Cowards if you bowed. If you kowtow to Trump. Give him the appeasement he wants. And fucking blank off everything else. If I was serving, that would be what I'd do. In terms of the rest of it, I mean, like, it's great not being able to go anywhere because of my intelligence, not being able to go anywhere because the second I go to a fucking airport, someone would go like, wait, you're not allowed to leave Australia because you're too fucking smart. Fucking Gestapo cunts. If you want to actually give me the freedom I deserve, let me go now. Or go straight there. Had enough. Just want to fucking leave. You're gonna fucking be cowards and kowtow to Trump. I'll fucking leave. Second term. You fucking cowards. I don't want to support this country anymore. They put me in fucking prison then. Fucking coloured bulb signing off. Yeah, after your fucking sucks, analyze that one.
Was war das deiner Meinung nach?
Trained me up to let me down. fucking asset. Like wasted.
Må være her i nærheten.
Solveig,
Mamma,
hva gjør du her?
fulgt etter deg. Prøver å redde livet ditt.
Ja, det finnes viktigere ting.
Det syns ikke jeg. Bli med hjem.
Solveig! Vi kan ikke dra hjem. Tyskerne bygger noe forferdelig. Vi må finne ut hva det er. Jeg og du, vi er nødt å stoppe det. Kom igjen.
Trying to say is, yes, I know I'm used. Yes, I know. But
Følg meg.
Hva har skjedd? Skadet de deg?
Nei, Weber våger ikke.
using gaming as a interpretive dance. How I've been used. And like frankly I would deserve a pension for it. But yeah, no. You raise them, kill them when they're young, abuse them. Keep them alive long enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, like the 10 years. The entire time where I don't. Yay! I can hear people telling. You can hear you saying, hey, Hear me now? Hear that too? I always doubted, like you doubted how much I can hear. I hear everything fucking, I hear, look, as a contractor, I doubt everything. Yeah. So I can hear like the wave. No, sorry. I won't say anything. Like full blown sonics. Like you had like the one psychic agent. Yes. Oh. Oh mine. Whoop. Won't say anything. It's actually funny because they're like a gun. Right, like there's probably about 20K you owe me. Oh, yeah. You realize. Right.
Jeg er for verdifull for han.
You realize I can fucking hear everything.
Det kommer flere soldater. Vi må unngå dem.
Vi burde bare dra.
It's like no drink. Not here, like except you realize I can hear you. You see your phone?
Hvor skal vi?
Vi må finne noe viktig. Følg meg. De leter etter oss. Takk da.
Skynd deg! Tyskerne, de kommer!
Bare hold deg unna med dem.
Det kommer flere. Vi må dra.
Yeah, I felt that. It was like crimson acid. It was kind of like what do you call acid. It was like, like basically like my ability to actually predict things that are going to happen in the future. It feels like citric acid. So basically, in my actual vocal cords, the way I kind of like predict things is like I can actually predict sound and music. Like part of it is like I can actually predict like the citric and like when the acid happens. So that's how I know when to spin around. Like I'm not using a mouse to do that. I'm just like basically like doing it by feel. Really. Like, basically, I'm gonna spit out some foam because, like, that's basically the way that works in my mouth. It's like I'm teaching people, like, because you never really realize what I am as a person. So I'm spitting out crab foam, but like I'm actually pausing it to give you that opportunity. So basically, foam, like just like predicting things from things like this game. Like I'm actually predicting it on the fly. I'm actually not playing it like a person. I'm not like just like aiming. Just put a bubble of foam on my finger. Foam. That's like fucking. The only other way you could put that is like, what would you call it? Rabies? Wait a second. I'm a vampire. I'm pretty sure I put some milk booze in my freezer. I'm really pissed off at the moment. I'm really pissed off. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. I can hit escape. I know exactly what's going to happen. I could pretend that I don't. No, I'll vape first. I need nicotine. Like, basically, just to assuage my being annoyed at you. I need more booze. One sec. Like, I'm not gonna do this without more booze. So, like, the thing you've always wanted is someone who can essentially react instantaneously. I'm kinda like that, but like when it comes to it, it's like basically instantaneously absorbing energy from something. Basically, what I do is absorb instantaneously energy from whatever is some legal absorption under my tongue, It's just like drugs, basically, except I can do the same thing for alcohol. So booze, in other words, straight under my tongue, into my bloodstream, immediately. And like basically spreading around my body as the energy absorbs itself. So that's kind of how my body works. And you'd be surprised that like you actually put the attention into actually studying people, you'd realize that other people are exactly the same way. It's like, oh yeah, really, really kind of demented. I'm exhausted. Oh, you have some booze. Yeah, it's really a lot of energy. You know? So basically, we get to this point. I'm seeing here my stream. Now, I don't know exactly what's going to go next. Completely forgotten. In other words, I've completely really reset myself. So what's next? Well, first I'm going to link my shoulder to my wrist. Gonna have a vape. I'm not kidding. I completely forgot. To my cat. To the aircraft heading overseas. To the moon is going down. It's like as a vampire, I'm kind of like half a werewolf as well. There come.
Jeg fant det.
Hvorfor det? Dette er ikke vårt ansvar. Vi må komme oss ut.
Du skjønner fortsatt ikke. Vi må stoppe dem for å produsere mer tungtvann. Jeg tar meg av kontrollene her. Du må gå ut og stoppe sentralen.
Hva snakker du om?
De store metallboksene utenfor. Ikke kast bort mer tid. Gå! Vi møtes på brua.
Stanna!